Word budget, talked about it before just briefly, but to survive and thrive in a first world police state, a word budget's important. Young lady just pulled up and I did a 3-point turn and parked here at Belmont. She drove off over there and she just stopped and said, "That's a good parking job." Now, I chose not to say anything, primarily because I've had a pretty big breakthrough after being abused and used for years, and we've all been used and abused, but some at different levels. I've actually been attacked by a black kid when I was a kid, hit in the side of the head in middle school for no reason. Then spent about 10 years of my life blocking for black boys. Then was thrown in jail by a black girl. Now, I feel that I was made a slave unlawfully and unjustly. That someone wanted to do what this young lady did, render a judgment. Now, as a honky in America, people don't want to hear that. But I have been made a slave by black people unlawfully, and then had other honkies come up, and I believe in black Jesus, and render their judgment, whether positive or negative, in so many different areas of my life that I've chosen to word budget and say nothing. If at all possible, ever, my choice is to say zero to people. Because when I give them any kind of word, I'm acknowledging that they have the right to be a judge. So I've shown up in front of discipline panels who were late. 2/3 of the panel was late. Had fake reports made by people. Shown up before judges. Had 40 hearings or settings over the years when trying to fight for my kids. Also, they could collect words and money, and they play the judge that they would use technically against me, because look where I am. Which is fine, there's no problem with that, but I'm away from my children. Zero access to them except for $300 an hour. So a way to survive and thrive, because I really am thriving. I just left the cathedral in downtown Nashville. I mean, pretty much known globally. The president knows my name. I know the last pope knew my name. I know the Obamas know my name. Almost every athlete that I ever played football with that's in the pros still know my name. So I don't really care about y'all's opinion. It's not that I'm ignoring you, but if it's people like Dirty Jeremy or Fat Negro Jones, you know, if you're a fat glutton and you tell me you think it's fraud for me to fight for my kids, then you're a son of a bitch. You're a criminal. You misuse words, both Dirty Jeremy and Fat Negro Jones, and spin them against people in a way so you can take their property. Because then just from one day of wasted time, yet again, my business license was not restored, even though it was unconstitutionally stolen. It was impaired. And rather than admit it and bring restoration, the more words I give them, the more they charge me and the more they waste my time. And I mean charge like money, because I'm not a criminal. I don't hurt anybody. So that's what they can't get through their thick heads, is you're a criminal when you hurt people. Even if it's using their own words in a passive-aggressive way, that makes you a false witness, thief, or criminal. So to Negro Jones, the obese, fat black guy that showed up and wasted my time trying to breathe off of me, he's so fat, and this is real, it's not arrogance, he had to sit back to suck in air to even breathe. They're calling people before them many times to suck their acetone, to suck their vocal organic compounds. They want to eat off of you, live off of you physically, financially, and yes, spiritually, and based on their, quote, judgment. So do not give people unnecessary words. They pretend like they're giving something to you, and they send you a bill for another $1,000 or ask for more of your time when you get no appreciable benefit. So when surviving and thriving in the first world police state, go to Christian grounds. Don't trust fake higher authorities like Dirty Jeremy, fraternal order police, socialist fraud, because he's an unconstitutional fraud until he fixes that. He can be an employee of the Alabama State Bar. Negro Jones can be an employee of the Department of Justice. But they've watched me get physically assaulted by police officers. They've watched people steal my fees and my property. They've watched judges unlawfully sell my houses. So they are criminals because they derelicted on their duty and conspired with it as well. They could have taken a step to alleviate some of the single dad suffering and alleviate some of the injustice of the clients to include 70 that signed and requested me to be back at it. Because there's a shortage of good lawyers. There's plenty of form lawyers, but fat fakes and socialists like Dirty Jeremy and the others, plethora, plenty. So be sure you don't give them too many words. You know, over the years, a guy would have been paid $130,000 a year for 3 years, $360,000 to refuse to lift a finger. So, yeah, word budgets are very important. Safe grounds are very important. Trentissimo, How to Survive and Thrive in the First World Police State. And I'm not trying to also do anything other than offer the appreciable amount of self-degradation, but no, I'm 6'1", 220 pounds, certified genius. Had about 500,000 of injections for the purpose of allergy mitigation and human genetic modification. So I do think Dirty Jeremy is inferior to me as a human in talent realms and as a lawyer in moral realms. And I think when people appreciate the fact there are some 10 talents, some 7, 8, 6, 5, if you keep the law, you will not covet other people. That's a whole different ball of wax to unwind, but covetousness leads to theft and to false witness. So word budget, avoid the covetous people by not giving them too many words. Peace be with you. Rethink down there at the General Counsel's office. You're unconstitutional. If you're not Christian or Catholic, I'd encourage you to get out of that state of iniquity. It's working iniquity. That's what they do with the words. You give them words, they just work iniquity against you, not constitutionality. So convert to Christianity, primarily convert to Catholicism. Fox News said that's the new cool, indisputably. So if you're not a Catholic, you might be like Negro Jones, a sucker, sucking air and resources off people. Negro Jones, won't you leave your people alone? A hypocrite you be, can't you see? Just a neo Uncle Tom is who thou came to be. Negro Jones, a hypocrite all along. He hates liberty because he's in gluttony. Unconstitutional, he truly be. A DOJ, Uncle Tom, Negro Jones, leave us alone.